Welcome everybody, welcome to the site of the new Jarun Stadium. Now, she may not look like much right now, but this time next year we'll be looking at a 9,000 seat stadium, state of the art everything. And no doubt after all the glory I brought to this club, it'll be called the Aussie Villain Arena or something along those lines. I'm sure it will be. It's not, I mean, what are you going to call it? The Jarun Stadium? Oh, well that's boring.
Jarune, za tebe mi dijete diše, tu je važno samo jedno, nogomet i ništa više. Jarune.
Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to the Summer Transfer Special as we move from Season 9 into Season 10, and we will be doing that with the knowledge that we're getting our own stadium finally. It's going to be just over 9,000. No way we couldn't have gone for 10, but that's okay. Under soil heating, grass surface. It's not going to cost. It's shockingly cheap. Under 3 million. There's an additional funding of 1.3 million. So it's super, yeah. So 1.3 million is not coming out of the club. So we're only paying like 1.5 million for our own stadium, which is absolutely brilliant. Now the issue I have is that it's called Jarun Stadium. Like surely. Just name it after me. I just want, in one of these impossible dreams, to play in a stadium that's named after me. But anyway, that's just kind of what it is. Now, a little bit of other news. We've had 3 players called up to the Euros. Bertic and Rupnik, fair enough. Antwi for Germany, I think we can agree that is a bit of a surprise. So, yeah, he's out on loan at Real Betis. And I don't think any of us expected him to be going to the Euros with Germany when we loaned him out there. So, what a rise he's had in his career after being signed from a German third-tier club to representing Germany at the Euros, what, 3 seasons later? Insane stuff. So that is that. Now let's have a quick reminder of what we know is already happening this episode. So we know our raid of Estudiantes has continued to 2 more players with Christian Monsalvo, the centre-back, coming in for 6 million and coming in for I thought it was 6.25. Anyway, coming in for 6.75 is Nicholas Mezzolini. He is a striker and potentially a very, very good one as well. So we know that that is happening. So bearing that in mind, hopefully we'll still get something happening this episode. In terms of the finances, we've got 11 million to spend. We've got a little bit in the wage budget, not a great deal, but certainly a little bit. And yeah, 23 million in the bank for the club, which given that we've just paid for a new stadium is pretty solid, I would say. So let's get this summer underway and see where it takes us. All right, the league has finished. The playoff has happened, and it was Istra that are staying up. There was I think it was 5-1 on aggregate over 2 legs. They beat Dubrava. We've got some end-of-season stuff here for the league. Now, Kovacic has beaten the league record for highest average match rating, so well done to him. It's Hugo Torres' record from a couple of years ago, his first season with us that was been broken. The 16 assists, okay, whoa, shots fired. Someone broke Rovis's record. That's unacceptable. So that's a league record for assists. I'll have to try and get that back. Players in team of the season, despite being the runaway leaders, only Bertic has made the team of the year, which seems a little silly. This is a professional contract. We'll have a look if we want to give you one of those. I don't think we do. So Bertic has got his money for being in team of the year. Financial fair play, we will pass that, no problem. We've got a tax bill, which is taxable profits. Oh, that's the tax. I was going to say, if we're paying 12 million in tax, something is very wrong. And scouting budget there as well. So that's all very, very good. So that's just, yeah, a quick update on the under-season, the league stuff. And, yeah, we'll move on to what happens. We'll try that again. We'll move on to whatever happens next. Oh, if you're wondering, Champions League, how that played out, if we just go down here, you can see we've got a little bit of extra money for that. But there we go. There's the review. Bayern Munich beat Manchester United in the final. We were not the overachievers, which is surprising, I would have thought. But yeah, Man City players pretty much dominated everything, and that's partly down to the fact that they hammered us, I would imagine. All right, we are having our first problems of the window, and that is the goalkeeper, Pinter. He had bids from Hoffenheim and Auxerre. Not massive bids, to be fair. We've also had a bid for Bertic, which was rejected. That was from St Etienne. But the problem with Pinter is that he is now upset that he hasn't been allowed to leave. So I'm very desperate not to sell him. I haven't made him any promises that I'm going to sell him. But again, we just got to hope that, yeah, this doesn't become a major problem. So fingers crossed. So we are at June 19th, which means the transfer window has opened. And now Estudiantes recruits, the students have arrived. And we have got Mazzoleni here. I mean, look at that transfer value already. It's more than doubled. He's a wonder kid now as well. That all looks very good. And the other one here, another wonder kid. And again, that transfer value's gone up. and I think we can all be pretty happy with what we've done there, can't we? So that is that. There will no doubt now be options to sell and buy players as well. No one hasn't really been too much interest. One of the players that's attracting a lot of interest is Butchman. Now, these are good transfer fees for somebody who is in a position of strength for us in terms of depth. I don't really want to sell him because he's quite a good centre back, but he is 27. So, all right, we have reached July 1st, which of course means contracts are up, so there's going to be a chance to sign some free transfers. Now, a few things to catch up on, just sort of minor transfers out. A couple of guys that have left. Santa Maria, one of the goalkeepers that we signed, a bit of a panic signing when Ayasha left that guy. And then 2 academy graduates. This guy, I think, is decent, but the problem is his fickle personality, and he can't pass. So he's not really a midfielder if he can't pass, is he? So yeah, so we've let him go off to Rijeka. And Sven Baza, unfortunately, not going to make it with us, so he's gone off to Aussiak. Decent fee, actually, because those guys have 50% sell-ons as well. So yeah, not too bad, those fees. Now, players that have been released, of course, at the end of their contracts. The big one here is, of course, Ranocchia. We'll keep an eye on him. I'd love to get him back as a coach. But yeah, he's just not really. I'd rather give that game time to youngsters. Nobody else there I think we really ever saw in the first team though. So yeah, so that is the update there. There is some bids coming in for some of our players. We have a few players that are on the verge of all kicking off because they haven't been allowed to go. But I'm going to try and keep the best, our best players at the club as best I can. We have breaking news out of Croatia this evening, where Jarun have sold Giacomo Fatacanti to Saint Etienne for £7.75 million. Now, manager Aussie Villain had this to say just moments ago. Look, fellas, I mean, I'm on my friggin' summer holiday here. I'm trying to relax and just enjoy myself, wind down. We've sold a squad player. That's hardly ambush the manager on the beach kind of deal, is it? I mean, come on now, guys. So there we go, Fatacanti has left 7.75 up front, and if he plays 50 games, we'll get another 2 million, and was there something else on there as an add-on? Anyway, it could go up to 10 million, maybe that's rounding it up, I think. But anyway, what do we say about Fatacanti? We signed him for 1.4 million as a bit of a stopgap for a season. He hung around a little bit more than that, and he still possibly would be useful. His contract was up at the end of this season. I thought rather than sort of have him as a squad player, he's sort of back up to sit hold. We've got a lot of good defenders at the club now, so we don't really need him in that position. Novak's coming back from loan. He's more than capable of backing up sit hold. So I just thought, let's cash in. So that's what we've done, and Fatacanti will certainly be fondly remembered by me. And let's hope he does well at the end. We don't have a sell-on. He's 27. I figured, well, let's just get the maximum fee we can for him rather than a sell-on for an older player. So yeah, that is that. Look, Rupnik, I know that you don't want to sign a new contract with us because of the interest in you elsewhere, but you're in your last year of your deal, mate. I need you to sign a new contract. Yes, mate, I know you don't want to sign a new contract because of the interest. Look, mate, we're in a loop here. I'm just going to have to take care of the club's interest, mate. I'm sorry. So this is very, very unfortunate, but Rupnik is in the last year of his deal. He's not going to negotiate a new one because there's interest in clubs elsewhere, and we just have to sell him because I don't want to lose out on this money for nothing. Ideally, I'd really, really like to get a sell-on clause, but no one's coming in with any reasonable bid with a 50% sell-on. So in that case, I'd rather just get the biggest fee we can. So I think 7.5 is not the worst. He is a 15-time cap Croatian international left back. He was playing for them at the Euros. I thought we'd get a little bit more for him, to be honest, but he is in the last year of his deal. So yeah, it looks like he'll be off, and that's going to leave us a little thin at left back in truth, but we'll do our best to get by with that. But what we're going to do right now is the Charity Shield thing. So we're up against Aussiak. You can see they've got a couple of new players in their lineup, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to send out, and who's injured there? Perso. So 1 second, we're not quite ready yet, apparently. Alright, so we've got an unhappy Pinta in goal. He is still unhappy about not being able to move, disappointed not being able to join Liverpool, but we're so far so good on that one. Monsalvo will make his debut next to Butchman. Butchman has had some reasonable bids come in, but I want sort of 25 million plus for him if I can, so we're sort of holding out for that. Kovacic is going to play with Reyes. You may remember we had him out on loan last year. We need to make a very quick decision on him if Rupnik's going to leave, and this is a good opportunity to do that. Novak back from his season on loan at Bordeaux. We'll see what he can do if we need to look at getting somebody in to cover for Sithola, or if he's going to be able to do the job. Then it's Montel and Zinko playing as the Mazzella. It's what I signed him to do, so let's hope he can do it. Then Siraj, a debut as well for Mazzolini, and then Bertic, who's unhappy as well because he wasn't able to join Everton. And well, we'll see what sort of a reaction we get from him. If we're going to get sulkers, that's not much good to us, but if they're still going to play okay, then yeah, you know, hopefully everybody will eventually be happy anyway. But let's get this game underway, and we can see the team sheets there. Did they put anybody that, because this is where Basil went, wasn't it? But I don't think he's going to be near their first team for a little while. All right, let's go out there and do it for the fans. That seems like as good a reason as any, and see what we get from a bit of a new look mishmash side here. But it's what this game is essentially for, isn't a bit of a competitive friendly. You'll see Kostic is back from his loan and on the bench as the backup goalkeeper. For now, I'm okay with that. Well, they've got Nasevic in goal, so there's one former player of ours playing. Yeah, for now, I'm okay with that. Pulic, ideally, I think I want to try and sell on as well. The backup goalkeeper position is a little bit of a tough one. What I also want to wait and see is what's going to happen with Pinter. If he's someone that's going to have to be moved on, then we need to obviously get in as the first choice goalkeeper, not necessarily a backup, as Bertic has had a save and then a block, and will now go across to take the corner. So almost the perfect start. It's a corner towards the back post. It's headed away. Zinko will pick it up. Does the highlight continue? Potentially, yes. And now it comes to an end. But a promising start, that. But yeah, we still have plenty of time in the transfer window. We still have time left in the episode, to be in truth. So yeah, we'll see what we sort of can do. Yeah, the idea of doing a bit of a clear out before I look to sign players is partly down to the fact that just giving it as long as possible to see who becomes available, but also it gives me more money, you know, because we get, I think, 95% of a fee goes back into the transfer budget as Montel crosses it into Zinko. Oh, it's a goal for Mazzolini. Now, is he onside? It looks like he is. So it's taken him 20 minutes to get his first goal for Jarun. I thought there was going to be an offside flag in here. It looked weird, but I think everybody is roughly onside. Bertic, I think, was getting in the goalkeeper's way, but I don't think he was ever offside or committing a foul, so it was good from him. And that's the Nasevic that I think we sort of got to know when he was with us. Like, he's always not quite, he wasn't quite ever good enough, was he? He never did anything necessarily wrong. Would you say he did anything wrong there? He sort of half came for a ball, I guess, which isn't great. But yeah, I think Nasevic has roughly stayed the same based off of that. No, yeah, so the team that we're looking at here is more or less, these players are, I'm thinking, oh, and Siraj has won a penalty. They're more or less going to stay. Bertic and Pinter are the two that are obviously unhappy, so we'll see how that develops as Bertic tucks away. He's a very, very good penalty taker. So he gets his first for the season as well. Surprisingly, perhaps, no bids for Torres so far this window, so hopefully I haven't put the mockers on that. But yeah, no bids for him. Just about everybody else has had bids come in, to be fair. But yeah, none for him. We have had one or two for Holt, the other left-back option. I think the problem I have is if Rupnik goes, I don't know if I trust him. I mean, we're talking about Champions League level. Do we trust him or Reyes to be that number one guy? And I'm not sure that we do. I have had a look at trying to loan in sort of a short-term fix, and there's some very good players on lots of money that the club wants us to, you know, the parent club would want us to pay, and we just can't afford to do that. So yeah, Rupnik has put us in a little bit of a trouble, but as I said, I'd rather get, you know, well, 7.5 is the bid right now. I'd rather get that and maybe be a little short at left back for a season than keep him. And that is, I think, offside by Bertic. The goalkeeper's made a good save. But yeah, nothing has come there in terms of an offside flag, and that is away. Now, the other option, and I've kind of thought about it, but I'm not sure I'm not sure if it's something I want to do, but I'm wondering if we could retrain Zinko, who is left-footed, as a left back option. Now the problem with him obviously is tackling isn't great, neither is marking. But as an attacking, he reminds me a lot of Della Vabora as a sort of an attacking wide player, wing back kind of player. So that's in the back of my mind as something we could do. The other thing that's in the back of my mind is trying to work on maybe a weaker foot of someone like a Kovacic or a Torres, so that they could play on the left-hand side. So that is maybe another option. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. First of all, if Rupnik does leave, there's a big part of me that wonders, after this transfer window is closed, will he? Oh, and that could be a goal. It could be offside. It was close. And it's the first time that Monsalvo and Butchman have played together, so I'm willing to give them a little bit of time to. Butchman is so far behind the rest of the line, though. So is Kovacic. Actually, it's not the best defense we'll see this season. It better not be the best defending we see this season. So yeah, we'll see. What I was going to say is I was half wondering if Rupnik would at the end of this window be like, okay, I'll stay. I'll sign a new deal. But what I don't want to happen is for him not to say that, and then we lose out again on the fee. And as good as Rupnik is, I've got to say, I've never been 100% convinced by him. I think it's just partly just looking at his attributes, and I just don't particularly love them. Now, Reyes isn't having a great game, as Zinko is offside, although he did draw a decent block. Alright, so let's get Skoko on. You'll see Turpic is back. They've changed their formation, so it's a good opportunity for us to test out a different formation as well. So we'll go and do that. Novak has he done well? How's he played? Novak, not too badly. Let's get Crespi on and see how he goes. And do we want to make any other changes? Reyes really not having a good game. Now, he's not match sharp. He was playing, I think, at Slaven last year, so he was playing in the top flight. So it's not like he shouldn't be sort of match rusty or anything. Mozzolini looks as though he's tired and put in his best effort. So let's get Turpic on now that he's back. We have had bids from Turpic coming in from Serie A side, sort of Empoli, Palermo even, sort of that level of club. I've been tempted by it, but he is a club trained player. We are going to need those in Europe to be registered. So, and he is a decent finisher, so he could possibly have a use in Europe as well. So I don't really want to sell him yet because of that. And we are back to 2-2. And it must be said, it's not been a great second half from us. I don't even know what I said at half time, in truth. I just sort of was too busy talking and clicking away. But whatever it was the wrong thing. And we've had a bit of a second half collapse here. I don't know we can say that that's Pinter having a sulk. Let's try a focus, perhaps. And are we going to throw away a 2-goal lead? Oh, it's a bit of a bad error. Bertic, he's got the overlapping Reyes. Reyes crosses it to the back post. Kovacic has a crack. It's back for Reyes. Reyes, oh, it's a horrid first touch. And he's done his best to get sent off there as well. You know what, Reyes? I'm just going to say... Oh, I can't sub you off. Yeah, like I say, I know he's not match sharp, but I wasn't completely thrilled with his season. He did play with a Skoko. Draws the save. And are we going to be going into extra time? I think we can take a lot of positives out of the performance in terms of possession, shots, all that kind of stuff. We just kind of didn't show up second half. But it's going to go to a penalty shootout, which is... all right, what do we want to say here? Leave no weather winners. Everyone here should be able to take a penalty. I would expect us. Do we want to expect us? We know... Wow, I've not got the options to say what I would want to say here. All right, I guess leave no room for regret. Ideally, you just want to say, stay calm, pick your spot, don't change your mind. I mean, that's as far as I know. What the pros say about taking a penalty is just don't change your mind. All right, Bertic. Now, I've given him a big praise about how he's a good penalty taker. Is he going to make me look like an idiot right now? No, he's not. I'm trying to remember if Nasevic with us was a decent penalty stopper or not. And I genuinely can't remember, as that's a good penalty there from Osiak. And now we've got Montel. We've seen him take a penalty before. We have now. He scored it. Not the most convincing, but it's in the back of the net, which is fine. And now we've got Pinter to try and make a save. And oh, he has. Nicely done, Tiber. Or Tiber, not quite sure. It's Crespi, our wonder kid centre-back. Can he take a penalty? Oh, yes, he can. It's a good one as well. And we are very, very close now. We're probably one save away from getting a bit excited here, and Pinter can't get to that one. So it's 3-3, and Skoko steps up. Now, have we seen Skoko take a penalty before? I'm not sure we have. Noah. Good penalty, mate. All right. We are. It's sudden death now. They have to score this. And if they don't score it, we win. If they do score it, then we've got a chance to win it anyway. Can Pinter be the hero, or will he designate that role to somebody else? Come on, mate. Be the hero right now. He is. And we have won the Super Cup Charity Shield thing. And well done to us. So that's a nice start to the season, isn't it? We've got a new stadium on the way. This time next season, we'll be in our new stadium. It's the end of June next year in game. So we'll be in it, have a new stadium, which is exciting. We've won a trophy, and we haven't really signed anybody, but it might happen yet. You never know. Got to stop calling these transfer specials, don't I? Because we don't do any transfers. We do it all beforehand. But anyway, that's a good performance from us for the most part. Alright, we are at game day, which brings us to the end of our special today. Now, a couple of things to catch you up on here with transfers. Brigic has left. He's gone off to Gorica. Only got 75 grand for him. There wasn't really any interest in signing him. For us to sell him, places for us to sell him to. So that's the best we could do there. And that's a bit of a no-name goalkeeper that we let go as well. So let's have a look at the team we have to start the season, for now anyway. And if we start with goalkeeper, well, it's Pinter. He is the undisputed number one. A wonder kid now as well, only 19. Very, very good. Let's hope he stays. Kosic is designated number 2. Again, very, very decent, I think, and still potential to get better. So the plan is for him to be the backup. We've still got Pulic. Ideally, I think I'd like to sell him. He looks good, but he's never played well for us, really. So, well, we'll see. Maybe we'll hang on to him as well. And, yeah, but then obviously if Pinter goes, then it's a whole thing. We have to get a number 1 goalkeeper in. I don't think we trust either of these guys to be our number 1. If we go and have a look at the centre-backs, which side did I set up? This side. So we've got 4 very, very good ones in Butchman, who we could sell if we get that sort of big bid that I'm looking for. Sanchez, who is very, very good, as we know. Monsalvo, who's off to the Olympics, which is annoying, but he's around. And then Crespi as our third wonder kid back there. So those are sort of the main guys. And then we've got the kids to back them up in Skolova, who's looking quite good, and Terninski, who has come back from his loan spell last season at Bordeaux and looking quite good as well. And then Benasek, you can see a bid. We're looking to sell him. We'll see what we get. He's not really developing. You can see how far down the pecking order he is. And I just think it's time to admit defeat on him. I thought he was going to be very, very good, but not quite worked out that way. Over to the left-hand side, and this is where slightly concerning, I think. Holt is probably the number 1, assuming that Rupnik does leave. We do have this youngster who's coming along. I was torn whether we loan him out. My original plan was possibly to loan him out to Bordeaux now that they're in the second tier as well. He would sort of be a little bit better suited for that. But he's actually developing not too badly, and I'm thinking maybe we hang on to him. Reyes, I think we called time on him, potentially. Yeah, I don't like to judge players too much on just one game, but I think I've seen enough to know that he's been a bit of a mistake of a signing. And Antwi, we're going to retrain him over here. He has a fairly solid left foot, and yeah, we've got. I mean, it's a German international, but you know, we've got a lot of strength on the right hand side. We'll go and have a look at that just now. So he can obviously, he's still going to be able to play over there, but I think with Hugo Torres as sort of first choice, and ably backed up by Kovacic, then I think we can afford to maybe look to move Antwi over as sort of the main backup option, or even first choice over on the left-hand side, still knowing that he could play on the right-hand side as well. Defensive midfielder, Sithole is the main man here, as we know. A little bit of interest in him, but he's the team leader and happy to stay. Novak will be his backup for this season, and then as a third choice option, Bosniak can play here. Last year of his contract, I would thought about cashing in, but I think even if we don't keep him, I think we've got to keep him for this year and then lose him on a free. Further forward in midfield, now Montel, again off at the Olympics, which is annoying. So without him just now. So it leaves us with Bozaniak as the deep-lying playmaker. Then we've got Zinko as the Mazzella. Now, Palumbo is still 2 to 5 months away, which is a little concerning. It does leave us slightly short in midfield. We've got Perso, who's a good young prospect, along with Plojovic, who's a good young prospect, although his potential is absolutely crashed for some reason, probably because he's unambitious. Olmarkic is here. And then we've got the likes of Siraj, who could drop back. Skoko, in truth, could drop back in as well. So I'm thinking, until with Palumbo and Montel away, it might be a situation where we need to sign somebody permanently that, you know, will strengthen us in the long term. Or perhaps we get a loan in just to sort of see us through this bit of a tough patch. A little bit further forward, we know Siraj is the main man here. We know that Noah Skoko can do a good job for about 2 months of the year. Then we've got the likes of, excuse me, Lako, Misevic. Now Misevic, it looks like we're going to sell him. We're getting fairly big bids in. And to be honest, I don't know that he is good. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't sell him, but I think I'm going to. And of course, Mazzaloni, who again was off at the Olympics, he can easily play back here as well. So that's that. And then if we look at striker, which was the side I set up, must be this side. We've got sort of the big four, I think, in Bertic, who is very good. See, he's not a wonder kid anymore. He was briefly a wonder kid. Lako, who is very, very good, as we know. Mazzolini, who is a wonder kid who we signed this summer, and then Matanovic, who's always going to be around, I think. Then we've got the youngsters in Madza, who is looking increasingly very, very good, isn't he? Turpic as well, who's back this season. And then Kozayev, we're looking to cash in on him. He's just not needed. And we've got Tomasek. I'd like to cash in on him as well, to be honest, but I want to get what he's worth, and I don't think we're going to get that because we don't play with wingers and he doesn't play. So a bit of a tough one there. But anyway, that's the team that we have to start the season. Let me know what you think of it. We've got the finances here. We've got 17 million to spend. Lots and lots of money in the transfer budget. And of course, that budget doesn't include potentially 7.5 million for Rupnik and 8 point something, whatever it is, for Misevic as well. So we're in a very, very good spot potentially if they all go through, which will allow us to then splash the cash and get somebody big in if we need to. But anyway, if you've enjoyed that, thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you next time. We will be back to start the season away to Dinamo and then at home to Osijek. So potentially 2 very big games. I don't know what we're going to get from Dinamo this season, but I think we probably have seen enough from Osijek, both in the Charity Shield thing there and in last season, to know that they're going to be a challenge again. So 2 big games to start the year. Until then, though, guys, I'll be Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.